Kash Patel said to House Republicans, quote, put on your big boy pants and tell us who the pedophiles are. Would you find yourself in agreement with Kash Patel, Congressman?
Yeah, he should put on his big boy pants and just release the files, because he also said in that same interview when he was asked who is blocking the files from being released, he said it's the FBI director. Well, now you have the president, the attorney general, and the FBI director, all who have access to them, all have promised them are the ones who are burying them. It doesn't take an act of Congress. They can do it. But if they're not going to do it, I don't know why my Republican colleagues would protect them from doing it when they have the subpoena power. And if Republicans in Congress aren't going to do it, Democrats will force votes on this, will receive information about this, and when we are in the majority, we will deliver on this.
What did somebody on TV this weekend call it? A self-licking ice cream cone of crazy?
Yeah.
Just there's so many conspiracies that you don't like. I don't know why I'm still like, do we trust Rupert Murdoch, or is there some other plan here?
Well, I mean, the nice thing about it being the Wall Street Journal doing this story, which let's be a little honest here. Did it really surprise anyone that Trump would have, written a stupid? Can I just say one thing about the whole thing about everybody wrote these dirty letters to Epstein for his birthday?
Yeah.
Just how juvenile their sense of humor. It's not even good humor. It's not funny. It was like sub-middle school kind of crap. Ooh, I drew a picture of a naked lady and I used my name for the pubes. It's like, hairs. Yeah, the tee-hee-hee-hee. Like, it's not just disgusting. It's dumb. It's insulting. This whole thing is embarrassing because of the quality of the people involved.
All of it's ridiculous. You retweeted Ron Johnson suggests Democrats tampered with the Epstein files. He said, I do know the Epstein files were in custody of the Biden administration. I don't know to what extent they added or deleted things. And you said, yes, the clever plan to tamper with the files and then do nothing with them while Trump gets elected. Brilliant thinking, Senator Dullard Q. Dumbass. I mean, it's nothing, right? I mean, the fact that he's like, arrest Obama for treason. You're just like, by the end of this week, it'll be like Hillary and Biden will be arrested for, I don't know, Jimmy Hoffa, the Lindbergh baby. I mean, this just gets more obvious by the day.
And, the whole thing with like that Obama was somehow in on trying the 2016 Russia conspiracy collusion thing, and we're going to arrest Comey and Brennan and I don't know who else, Obama. I mean, honestly, I really hope this is the one thing that finally makes Obama say, you know what, I'm not going to say anything veiled anymore. I'm not going to not say his name.
Well, excuse me. We talked about this, Rude, you and I, years ago. Unfortunately, this started with Obama and the Democrats playing by a different set of rules. Mitch McConnell said, no, I will not go to the American people and tell them Russia is interfering to help Trump, which he knew they were. And so, forcing, so Obama then was forced to, but he should have just done it, Rude. He should have said it anyway if Mitch McConnell wasn't going to let him. He should have, the American people had a right to know before the 2016 election.
And you could have also been, I'm also protecting Donald Trump on this. Mm-hmm. I am protecting him from needing to owe Russia for this. Right. And instead now, because everything was kept hush-hush and because Democrats, need to follow norms and, traditions and, show up at inaugurations for a fascist when they shouldn't have, that all of a sudden now it's just Trump's turn to turn every accusation against him into an accusation against somebody else. So now it's a coup. It was an attempted coup by Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. Who else? Just name all the people you want to name.
Well, and by the way, you've highlighted a perfect example of it, and I revere Nancy Pelosi, I really do, but you retweeted her characterizing the Epstein scandal as in seeming cover-up as a distraction from kitchen table issues, and you said Democrats have never learned that when you wound your opponent, maybe even kill them, and then you get to build on what you want to build without them getting in the way. I mean, this is there's blood in the water. It is time to go for the jugular on this, like they would do. I mean, you're right. It's not time for politics as usual or kitchen table issues when we're doing the backstroke and fascism, and we have a child rapist in the Oval Office. Allegedly.
That's the thing. It's like he's already an adjudicated rapist. You
Yeah.
know, a judge has said on the record that he is a rapist. A jury found him guilty of sexual assault, and the only reason it wasn't rape was because of the narrow definition of it in New York. And you know, it's like none of that gets highlighted.
Point
None
of order.
that-
Also because she didn't know if it was his teeny tiny Cheeto finger or his teeny tiny shriveled Cheeto penis. Yeah.
True.
Okay.
But you know, either way,
Right.
you know, we don't need to get into
Yes.
what is and isn't. But
Yes.
but,
Oh,
you know,
by the way, E. Jean Carroll wrote me back. She's coming on the show, so we can discuss.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, but it's just we mentioned this Friday, Rude, but Mike Johnson said, "Oh wait, do we have this? We might as well just play it." 8, yes.
Okay, here we
Representative
go.
Mike Johnson. Here we go.
The president and I talked about that ridiculous allegation this morning. He said it's patently
Ridiculous.
absurd. He's never drawn such a picture. He's never thought of drawing such a picture. And he said, did you see the language of this bogus supposed communication or card or something I supposedly sent to Epstein? He said, I don't talk like that. I don't think like that. They're literally
That's not
making
the
things
that's
up.
not the one I wanted. Sorry.
The president...
That's 8?
Yeah, 13. We were
Oh,
talking about his.
13.
Yes.
Okay.
That was
The
also
president is
ridiculous.
the
But
All right.
go ahead.
Okay.
The president is the most maligned and attacked political figure in the history of American politics. There's no question about it. But he's also the most resilient. And you see at the same time, his approval ratings are skyrocketing. By CNN had a story, I think, a day or two ago. He was at 90% approval rating. There's never been a president that high. So the more that they attack him, the more the American people see through it.
I'll just read from the Newsweek this morning. Newsweek's tracker shows Trump's net approval rating at an all-time low of negative 11 points. Just for those of you, but as you said,
42% to 53% opposing. Yeah.
said-
But you know, they do that all the time because it'll be some poll of just Republicans.
Right. Exactly.
And they
It's
don't-
an online
and what they-
poll.
Yeah, or an online poll,
Yeah.
and it'll just be, but it'll primarily be Republicans, and it'll be like, see, these are the only people who count. You know, as long as his people are still 90% behind him,
Yeah.
then that's all they care about.
yeah, yes, nicely done supporting your the child rapist, allegedly. Okay, yeah, you said in my lifetime the only time a president hit 90% approval was Bush after 9/11. That was insane, but understandable. This bulbous jag is never cracking 50% again. It's true. I mean, in some cases, not even 40 in some polls, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was above 50 when he right after the re-election, because the American people are stupid, and so it was all like, I mean, I guess it was all, well, let's give this guy a shot. Maybe he's learned something.
Oh, God.
And then it quickly plunged.
Yeah.
And now it's down. You know, like I said, he's underwater. He's been underwater since I think February, and will never get above 50 again.
Right. So his latest combination of racism and extortion would be trying to extort the Washington Commanders to change, yes, to be as racist as he is, or he won't approve the stadium or something. And you said also we should probably talk more about how disgustingly racist it is for the white president to think that African countries are so that it doesn't matter if criminals are dumped there by us. Yes, there's that.
Yeah. That's because one country actually said, we're going to repatriate these people, and I cannot remember the name of the country. And they said we're going to repatriate these people to where they came from, and don't dump your criminals here.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, I don't know what kind of deals they've made, but just saying, you know what, South Sudan sucks, so here, suck some more.
The latest story everybody's talking about, since we're on the subject, Rude, an Allentown grandfather who was granted political asylum in 1987 after surviving torture at the hands of Chilean dictator Pinochet's regime was disappeared by ICE. The family was then told he died. Now they learned he's actually alive, was deported, and is in a hospital in Guatemala. He just lost his green card. He was going to get his green card replaced. 82-year-old grandfather.
Yeah, because that's what we are now. That's who we are. We take people who have been in this country for decades and decades, and who are here legally, and we send them away with the idea that it'll be so much trouble to bring them back, they either won't come back, or or it'll take a while, and it'll punish them in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the savagery with which we are treating people whose worst crime is the misdemeanor of crossing the border without proper documents is astounding. I was reading about the facility in Florida that not the concentration camp in the Everglades, but a Miami ICE facility where people are shackled and forced to eat food like dogs, and where women detainees you have to use the bathroom in full view of male guards, and that the facilities are so awful and smell like feces and are unsanitary, and you're sitting there going, they didn't commit any crimes. They didn't do anything.
By the way,
and this is what we're doing to them.
Speaking, while we're on the subject of racism, did you see the AI, Obama being arrested video that Trump, this is the president, put out?
Yeah.
He's not only handcuffed behind his back, he's forced to his knees, like we're seeing all these prisoners that we're sending, to gulags. I mean, it is so unbelievably racist. And anyway, okay, one last, because you're a silver lining guy.
Yeah.
You are. You said another way to look at this, Stephen Colbert has 10 months without a single to give, tear them all apart and throw until they throw you out of the building, man. KBC knows what happens when they gave me one night to say goodbye.
Well, they gave you 2 nights. You only ended up with 1 night.
It was worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that he'll maintain for a while because he's got 200 people on staff and he doesn't want them to lose their jobs. But I would imagine as things get close to the end there, that he doesn't need money. He doesn't need if he doesn't ever get a network show again, he'll be fine. If he starts a podcast, it'll be huge.
Yeah. Oh, somebody had a good idea. In place of Morning Joe, that would be a humdinger of a show. Although doing 3 hours, 5 days a week in the morning, ain't no party. It ain't no disco.
No, it isn't. Especially when you're used to doing 1 hour, 4 nights a week.
With 75 writers and producers.
Exactly.
He's got a good life. He's got a good life in Montclair, New Jersey. Actually don't. By the way, I don't live far from him. I have seen him on the street before.
Can I just say, someone I know this will make our heads explode if we play this game, but they said, can you imagine if Obama had told Clear Channel to fire Rush Limbaugh, and they did?
Yeah.
To grant some merger or something. I mean, it's just, this is how far down the fascist rabbit hole we are.
This is all just so that, what's her name can get $2 billion in the deal.
Yeah, Sherry Redstone. Yeah.
That she can get $2 billion in this deal where Paramount is bought. It's just, you sit there and you go, how much are you willing to sacrifice to be rich? It's not even to get rich. And
if the irony is, if it ends up being the Rupert Murdoch-owned Wall Street Journal, that's the one that does not bend the knee. And, because I can't imagine, what do you call it? They're going to settle, or Trump's going to go through Discovery. He always does this. And then when it gets to Discovery, of course, he's not going to want to, have to be deposed about Epstein, right?
Yeah. And I think that it's time to start countersuing the Trump administration for intimidation, for trying to silence people.
Yeah.
There are people that are trying to do that now. I think that Harvard, the lawsuit that's going on right now with trying to take funds away from Harvard that starts today, it's Harvard saying, no, this is unlawful intimidation by the government. And it's also the government trying to control speech.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with the Washington.
I was just going to say, there's your small government again, forcing a private sports team to do what they say, or they're not going to get a stadium. You must be racist or... Right?
You must be racist, or we're going to condemn you. And can I just say, just in general, Redskins is a stupid friggin' name. I don't even put aside the racism, the insensitivity. It's just dumb. It was always a dumb name. And why would you want that to be your name?
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm one of the Redskins. Go Redskin Nation. It just sounds like, something you peel off an apple. And that's all it should be used for.
All right.
Not a freaking football team.
All right.
Oh, I'm intimidated by your red skin. That's the racist part of it.
Well, CPAP machines are the worst, right? Who can sleep at night with that mask and hose strapped to your face? But without it, breathing is disrupted, and if you have a higher risk of dementia, stroke, heart disease, or premature death, the bottom line is if you snore now, you are at heightened risk of requiring a CPAP machine later. So now is the time to stop snoring. One of the smartest, fastest, easiest ways to stop snoring is Zipa. Zipa is the comfortable doctor-designed mouthpiece that can stop snoring as fast as the first night. Don't be fooled by imitators. Zipa was proven in a 600-patient clinical trial, and with over 500,000 units sold, Zipa is the stop snoring device that we trust. No more being nudged awake for snoring. No more sleeping in separate rooms. No more feeling tired and foggy all day due to lack of sleep. Look, this may be your last best chance to solve your snoring problem now, or face having to wear that CPAP mask later. Zipa, that's Happy Z spelled backward. I want you to try it with my special discount. Get 20% off and free shipping if you visit ZYPPAH.com. Use that promo code SNORE. Again, the promo code is SNORE at Zipa.com.